Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special reunion episode. What is that? Well, Reunion 2020 is when I bring on a guest that I had on the past. I liked them so much, I had to bring him right on back. So today's guest is Sebastien Boyer. He's Director of Financing over at OrangeFi and also a founder over at Business Credit 101. Sebastien, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Adam. Good morning, and welcome, and thank you for having me.
Oh, man. So when I saw your proposed topic for today's discussion, the importance of personal credit for business funding and vetting a personal credit repair expert, I was like, oh, got to get Sebastien back on the show. This is awesome. So that being said, I want to get into those topics. But before we do, we have a lot of new listeners. Don't want to assume they caught the first episode. Let's just start off with what you're doing over at OrangeFi and Business Credit 101. Tell us a little bit more about the companies, please.
Sure thing. All right, so with OrangeFi, we've been in the market about 7, going on 8 years of assisting startups and existing business owners to access financing, whether that be loans, lines of credit, whether it be through SBA, equipment, or asset-based lending. There's so many different options. There's about 12 different finance solutions that we facilitate. But our approach over there is to start with an assessment of their credit, a full evaluation where there's no inquiry or exposure. We provide that assessment in good faith. There's no obligation or commitment. And then from there, we're able to intelligently, present to the business owner or entrepreneur their funding options, educate them, advise them, and help them make the best decision for themselves based on their goals. And we do all of that in good faith over at OrangeFi. And through that, we developed Business Credit 101, which I'm the founder of that side of the company. It's kind of the flip side of the same coin. It complements each other. On the Business Credit 101 side, we educate our clients on establishing and building business credit on their EIN through Dun & Bradstreet and other business credit bureaus. And, of course, the goal there would then be to be able to establish more financing in the future, but with the business credit as a variable or factor in the equation, where if they don't have business credit, unfortunately, most of the financing kind of falls back on a more personal guarantee without any business credit association. So, that's kind of what's going on with OrangeFi is really the business financing arm, and then Business Credit 101 is more the educational and coaching arm to help clients build their business credit for the future.
I love it. It's really the best of both worlds. Number one, you can handle the physical product, but number two, you're also focused on that education piece, which is so important in the credit base, whether it's business or personal. I love what you're doing. Love the setup. I love the fact that you also formed Business Credit 101 to take your mission of helping, small business owners and business owners progress even further. I think that's also a great transition. So the importance of personal credit for business funding and vetting a personal credit repair expert. Where do you want to begin?
Yeah, so first of all, why this topic has become so important is because, first of all, if you're a startup or an entrepreneur, you don't have an existing business and you need to, secure financing, it's 100% going to be based on either your assets or based on your personal guarantee or a combination of both. There's just no way around that. There's no way to get business funding based on business credit if you don't have business credit. So as a startup, what do you have? Your personal guarantee. It's your personal credit. But even as an existing established business owner in business for years, you've done millions of dollars in revenue, you're in business for 10 or 15 years. If you've never taken the time to establish and build your business credit, then your personal guarantee is still what it's going to be heavily weighed and measured to determine if you qualify for funding. So additionally, what's going on is there's a lot of information out there on the web, a lot of YouTube channels and just people putting out information about business credit where they're kind of teaching business credit as if it's like this smoking gun solution to everything. It doesn't matter if you have revenue. It doesn't matter if you have personal credit. Just build your business credit and you can get funding. And unfortunately, that's really not true. It's a piece of the puzzle. So having good personal credit, having revenue in the business, or if you're a startup, personal income, and having the business credit is going to complement and allow you to get approved for bigger loans, better rates and terms, and more loan options will become available. But having business credit alone is not going to qualify you for financing. You still have to be able to verify revenue in the business, and your personal credit could still make or break the approval. So it's very important that your personal credit is up to par along with your business credit, not just focusing on the business credit. And then, of course, especially if you're a startup, having your personal credit in position is really going to be the main thing that's going to be looked at and measured to determine if you can be qualified for financing. So that's the reason the topic is so important. It's just because because of the misinformation of just building business credit, and that's the solution for everything, or not having good personal credit doesn't matter when it comes to business loans. That is not true. The truth is your personal credit is just as important and relevant, and so you must take care of it if you have good credit, and if you don't, then that's when you're going to probably seek to have an expert assist you to repair or restore your personal credit.
Let's get into that. I think it's a good transition. So, let's just say they're listening to this, they're like, man, I need to hire an expert. But I don't know how to vet them. I don't even know what that means. What am I going to do? Just go on Google and then hand everything over, or because it's just such a weird field, the personal credit side, in my opinion.
Right.
Because there's some people that are really good at it, and there's some people that took a quick course, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and maybe they did other things to get their skills further up. But let's just say that they may not be the best at it, and
right.
they're just so how do you vet? What does that even look like?
Well, first I want to say that with credit repair or credit restoration, it's like most things where technically you can personally handle it yourself. Just like if you have a traffic infraction, you could go to court, represent yourself in court. The reason you hire an attorney is because they're an expert in that field, and they would probably be able to represent you better than you could on your own, especially if you don't have the time to really do the research and diligence.
Like taxes. Technically, you could file your own taxes, but if you have any type of complication, then, you don't want to start learning tax code. It's like it's another job. So go ahead, Fred.
It's another job, exactly. So that's the reason you might want to consider an expert. So the main thing to know about that is first of all, there is a law. It's called the Credit Repair Organizations Act, or CROA for short. It's a federal law that regulates credit repair organizations in the United States. One of the most important things that CROA did is it makes it illegal for credit repair organizations to make false claims. Okay? If you read the law, the main section includes mandates such as you can't misrepresent your services, so you can't make false claims and just make promises that you're going to get this removed or fix that. So that's a no-no. If you hear someone making claims like that, that should throw up a red flag. A credit repair expert must provide a written contract between you and the client, and the client has to sign it, and the client has 3 days to cancel the contract. Okay, so again, if a credit repair person you're speaking to is not offering you a contract, they're not making you aware that you have 3 days to cancel, that should throw up a red flag. Okay, next, a credit repair person is not supposed to charge you until services are rendered. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't charge you until they've repaired your credit, but they can't charge you up front until they've actually done some work. So what most credit repair companies that are legitimate will do is they'll prepare the initial documents that need to be prepared for the credit repair process, prove that to you, and then they'll charge you maybe their initial fee for that service to begin. But if a credit repair person is telling you they want full payment up front, and yet they have not done anything except had a phone call or a conversation with you, again, that should be a red flag, okay? Additionally, consumers have the right and can sue and get refunded for all the money they've paid towards credit repair, plus legal fees and damages if the credit repair organization is found to have violated the CROA Act with that customer. So state laws, they do vary and can change or render under the CROA rules. Simply put, these laws put in place to protect people from credit repair companies that use scammy business practices. So some of the scammy things that you might want to, look out for, if you hear someone saying they're going to do a credit sweep, or they're going to put a fraud alert on your credit where they're going to file a police report and claim that there was fraud. If there was no real fraud, there should be no way you're filing a police report. That's illegal. You can't do that, and you can end up getting in trouble for being complicit in doing such a shady practice as far as trying to repair your credit. So legitimate credit repair is going to stick to the rules and the laws. They're going to go through the correct measures of preparing documentation, and it's legitimate and it's okay for them to argue and dispute issues and claims that are on your credit, especially things that you completely don't agree with. But there is a process. So, be aware that when it comes to credit repair, it can take at least 30 days for the bureaus to respond. By law, they have 30 days to respond. So again, if a credit repair person is telling you, don't worry, we'll get that done in a week, that should throw up a red flag, because again, by law, the credit bureaus have 30 days. And so if they submit a dispute, it's going to take at least 30 days for that bureau, in most cases, to respond. Now, things can move quicker, but in general, that should be the status quo. And it doesn't guarantee that it's going to come off the credit. So it may require that credit repair expert go into 2 or even 3 rounds, which could result in 2, 3, or even 4 months of disputes back and forth. All right, so these are some things you want to look out for. If it sounds too good to be true, if it sounds like, oh, no big deal, we'll get this done immediately, probably something's up. They're doing something fishy. Now, besides federal laws, there's also state laws. And some states have laws that regulate credit repair beyond the federal laws. And they kind of vary from state to state. Let's see. So it's more or less kind of reiterating the laws, the federal laws. But some states do require that you have a bond, that your credit repair company has a bond. So most states don't, but that might be a question you ask. Are you bonded? There's no licensing requirement at this time, not yet, for credit repair companies. But you might want to ask them if they have any kind of certificate that shows that they've completed any kind of course that validates them as a legitimate credit repair person. So these are some of the things that you want to have in mind when vetting a credit repair person. It's always good to get a referral, but just a referral doesn't mean that the person is legit and that they're doing a good job. You want to ask these questions before you hire that expert.
That's awesome. So Sebastien, for your homework, I don't normally give my guests homework, but for your homework, I'm going to need you to give me a referral all the way off the line to a credit repair CEO or something of one of these companies. I know you have referral partners somewhere that do the personal side. I need to get one of them on the show. This is awesome. I mean, you already gave us a ton of education, and it's great. So first off, Sebastien, if somebody wants to, I can talk to you about this all day, first of all, but if somebody wants to learn more about OrangeFi or also Business Credit 101, what's the best way for them to follow up on that?
Well, you could definitely visit our websites, OrangeFi.com, and that's orange like the fruit, and FI, so that's fireindigo.com, so OrangeFI.com. And you can also visit businesscredit101.com, both those sites, and you can contact us through our contact forms. You can email me directly at seb@OrangeFi, that's Seb short for Sebastien, S-E-B, like boy, at OrangeFi.com, or you can just reach out to me on my direct line, which is 305-554-6629. You'll find me all over social media at The Approved Guy. That's my quote-unquote alias on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And so, either you'll find lots of information on my YouTube channel, you'll find lots of information on the websites, but anytime you want to call me or just reach out directly, I'm open to assist, and I provide a free consultation, just to have a call and discuss your goals.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Sebastien, really appreciate you coming back on the show. It's been an awesome reunion episode. Provide a lot of value to the listeners and taught them a lot about business credit. But I know that's just and personal. I know that's just the beginning. So meaning Business Credit 101. I think that's the spot to go and learn. And if you're obviously looking for business lines of funding, other things like that, like OrangeFi is definitely something to check out for the listeners. And to the audience, as always, I hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you had a lot of fun listening, because we had some fun making this for you. So if you did, subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Money Matters Top Tips, don't forget to give that a subscribe. And if you have some questions, comments, put those in the comment section. Love to engage with you there. And Sebastien, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me again, Adam. Appreciate it.